very slippery. So that was dangerous. I'm David Dunn, and this is Alan Muster back here on the drums. And we are stoked to be hanging out with you guys tonight. We're going to play some songs, tell some stories, and do some hanging. Is that cool with you? Yeah. So thank you. So I am from Midland, Texas. Does anybody know where that is?
Texas.
That makes sense. It's a tiny place that, contrary to its name, is not in the middle of the state of Texas. Is it in the middle of nowhere? It is in the middle of nowhere, excuse me. And I have 5 brothers and sisters, also dangerous. Don't do that at home, kids. I have 5 brothers and sisters who all still live in Midland and have all gotten married and made it their prerogative in life to pump out as many children as they possibly can. So as a repercussion, I am now an uncle. Jake's laughing back there, made me laugh. What was I just saying? I also have bad ADD, so I get lost a few times in the stories. 5 brothers and sisters, lots of nieces and nephews. I actually have 12 of them, almost 13 now. There's one in the oven. And so when the Dunns take a family vacay, there is a gaggle, a flock. There's a herd of children everywhere that we go. And so we were in Disneyland about 3 years ago now. And my 3-year-old nephew, his name is Brady. Brady, as we were walking between Winnie the Pooh and Peter Pan in Fantasyland, you guys know Disneyland, right? Okay, perfect. As we were walking between those two rides, Brady had one of the most epic meltdowns in 3-year-old history. We're talking snot, tears, fists on the ground. And the reason that he was freaking out was because his older sister, who was 5 at the time, would not let him push the stroller with their baby brother in it. And keep in mind, we are in Disneyland, whose motto is the happiest place on earth. And here's the funny thing about the happiest place on earth. Brady's tantrum is not an isolated incident. There are sobbing, weeping children everywhere. So me and my dad and my brothers were sort of giggling about this meltdown and how we were in Disneyland and it had happened. And I thought, man, what a perfect example of what us mature adults do all the time. You guys, a lot of you probably have kids out there, and I'm just an uncle, so I don't know as much as you do, I imagine, but here's what I think I've learned, is the worst things about myself are really easy to see in my nieces and nephews. And so here's what I learned from Brady. Brady, my 3-year-old nephew, tunnel visioned on this problem. It took up his entire world for a moment, and he made himself absolutely miserable because of the thing that was right in front of his vision. And we do that all the time. I do it especially, as I make myself sick with this thing. And if I could just lift my eyes and see things from God's perspective instead of my own, I'll realize 2 things. Number 1 is that this thing that I'm freaking out about is really an opportunity for me to become more like Christ. It's a James 1 opportunity. You guys know James 1? Consider it pure joy, my brother, when you encounter various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces patience. My interpretation is this: you get to become more like him. That's how you view a trial. That's thing number 1 that happens. In my cases and instances, 99% of the time, when I lift my eyes and see things from God's perspective instead of my own, I will realize also that the thing that I'm freaking out about is a figurative stroller that my older sister's not letting me push in the middle of Disneyland. So, I wrote this song about that. It's called Today is Beautiful. It won't never end. Sometimes you just don't want to. It's the little things sometimes. You bend your